Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Friday Python Basics live class. If you can hear me, please let me know. If not, I will try again. But today I have made a slight difference, a little difference in the way I'm going to showcase the code. I'm going to use Visual Studio Code to essentially execute the code or run the code and share my screen. If you can hear me, please message me in chat. Last time there was a problem with the audio, so hopefully it works now. Okay, just give me a moment. Let me share my screen and okay, okay. So that's good news. Looks like audio is working. Now I'm going to explain some fairly simple concepts today. Um, okay. Now, so if you see, today we're going to learn some very basic arithmetic operators. Arithmetic essentially is about mathematics, right? So just like essentially the operators are like the plus, minus, multiplication, and such, right? So now, how do you do that? Essentially, in Python, just like many other languages, there are certain rules as to in what order these these operators are processed, unless you have a clear parenthesis around them. There's some default order in which these operators are processed. As you see here, the variable number is assigned the value 1 plus 2 multiplied by 3 divided by 4.0. Now, let's see what is the actual value. If you see the second, to display the value, we are using print and this variable number here. Now, let me execute this code and see what happens. All right. Okay. So in VS Code, we have this. We have the we have this button here on the top, like a triangle, and all the files are shown on the left, and then you double click on each file, and it's displayed in the editor on the right. And at the bottom, you have the terminal and output, and and the debug console. Now we will just need the terminal for now. Now, to execute the code or run the code, we have to click on this run triangle. Now, uh, interestingly, the the output or the result is 2.5. How is it 2.5? It's going to be interesting to figure out. Now, we have the divisor here, 4.0, which is the denominator, and here we have 1 plus 2 multiplied by 3. So if Python were uh, doing the addition first, then it will be 3 multiplied by 3, which is 9 divided by 4. So it will be, well, 9 divided by 4. What? 9 divided by 4 would be 4 twos are 8, and so it'll be like 2.25. But how come it's 2.5? Now let's look at the other case. 3 multiplied by 2 plus 1, which is 7. 7 divided by 4, which is again just a little bit over 1. Now, how come it's coming out to be 2.5? 2.5 multiplied by 4 is 10, right? This is very interesting use case here. Now, let's say we change this to 7. What happens next? The result is 1.85. And if we change it to 10, the result is 1.6. right? So that means this is turning out to be 1 dot, I mean 16. 16 divided by 10 is 1.6. Now, how can it be 16? This is this is very interesting. In fact, I'm a bit confused myself. Sorry about that. Let's make it 1 multiplied by 2 multiply. Can anybody guess what's happening here? Now, let's see what happens here. 1.5. 1 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 3 is 1.5. Now, let's do this. 1 multiplied by 2 plus 3, which is 2.75. 2.75, which is probably 3 multiply, sorry, 2 plus 3 is 5. That cannot be 2.75. Now, let's say it's 3 plus 2, 5. 5 by 4, that is also not. This is very interesting. What's happening here? Let's put the let's put parentheses around these and see what happens. So this should be like 6 by, one moment, there's a call. Okay, so what's happening? Obito, can you guess what's happening here? 3 divided first, maybe. Let's see. So you mean 3 by 4 plus, okay. All right, could be 3 by 4 is 0.75, which makes sense. And then there's 2.75, yes. So what you mean is, yes, that makes sense, yeah. Now, now what happens if we do this? We do 1 multiplied by 2 plus 3 and then by 4. So let's see what happens. So essentially, the parenthesis will be calculated first, right? And that's 5 by 4, which is 1.25, which makes a lot of sense. Now, what happens, the fun part is, if we remove the brackets or the parentheses, the result is fun here. So, I mean, the result is very interesting. So essentially, you are absolutely right, Obito. It does it calculates 3 by 4 first, and then it does the multiplication, and then it adds. So division and then multiplication and then add them together. So somewhat like this. Obito, you are absolutely correct. Now, this is what is happening. This is what is happening behind the scenes. Uh, yep. So if you see, 1 multiplied by 2 plus 3 multiplied by 4. So these two are calculated separately, and then we get the result as 2.75. All right, very smart, Obito. Thank you. Now, let's see, how do we calculate? There's another operator called arithmetic operator called modulus, or I mean, which is represented by percent sign. Essentially, what happens? This gets us the remainder uh, after dividing two integers from each other. So this is essentially nothing but 11 divided by 3, and it gives you the remainder of that. So 11, we use percent sign to denote that, to get the modulus. And can anybody guess what will be the modulus be here? Okay, let's see. I will just clear this code and let's start afresh here. Okay, so we get 2. That means if you see, 3 three threes are 9, and then 9 plus 2 is 11. So that means it's correct. So here the modulus is 2. Now what happens in this case if we do 13? Modulus is 1. So 3 fours are 12 plus 1. What happens if we do 130? The modulus is still 1. What about 1300? The modulus is still 1. 13,000. The modulus still remains 1. So anyways, let's do this. Yeah. So, okay. Now we will move to the next one. I mean, the last one was the modulus of 13,000 divided by 30 is 10. So now we will move on to the next one. Simple, very simple idea. Just like multiplication is denoted by a single asterisk, uh, uh, exponents are powers denoted by two asterisks or stars. Now, 7 square is denoted as 7 star star 2, and then cube is 2 star star 3, and then we'll see what it shows here. I'll clear this window and then execute it. So in the first case, square 7 square is 49, which makes sense, and 2 cube is 8, which makes sense. Let's see what happens in case of 2 to the power 30. Just have fun. Wow, this is not too bad. 2 power 30,000. Oh my gosh. Value error exceeds the limit 4,300 digits for integer string conversion. So integers I mean, the limit for integer is essentially this value exceeds the maximum value for an integer. And if we, what happened? Let's have some fun with powers. Um, Cube. Look at this. Let's just, okay. Look at this number. So this is the huge number that we get. Now, let's, for once, let's just comment this one and let's see what happens in case of 7. 7. Oh, this also exceeds the max value for an integer. Now let me clear the terminal and go here. Wow, this is like a big number here. Doesn't look very exciting. A lot of randomish digits. Now, I guess we are okay here. We understood how the powers are denoted. We'll move on to strings. I think we have seen in the previous video how strings are added. So hello world is hello, the string hello. Strings are denoted by, uh, I mean, putting double quotes or single quotes around it, and around a string of characters. And then we use the plus symbol like we used to add numbers. And then there's this, this is like a, this is not a null string, but this is a string with a space in it. And then we put another plus, and the second word is world. And now we print the string hello world. So as we can guess, let me clear the terminal. Yeah, the the result is hello space world. This is fairly simple. Now, next one is very interesting. Just give me a moment. Repeating strings. Now, I mean, this, I haven't seen this in any other language, but here in case of Python, if you have to repeat a string, you don't have to put it in a loop. I mean, in the loop construct, you can just say hello star 10, or similar to multiplication in integers, which we just saw. So if you have to print hello 10 times, You have to just say hello star 10. This is very interesting. Now let's see what happens if I execute this piece of code. I'll just clear it and try again. Yeah. So if you see, the result is hello, 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 like 10 times. All right. Now, this was again a fairly simple concept. We can move on to the next one. This is another fun concept. Uh, Lists can be also added using the plus sign. Now, what do we mean by added? Let's see. So this even numbers has 2, 4, 6, 8. Odd numbers has 1, 3, 5, 7, and all numbers is odd numbers plus even numbers. Let's see what happens in this case. All print all numbers. This is crazy. So in this case, you see 1, 3, 5, 7, 2, 4, 6, 8. So odd numbers first, and then even numbers after that. So it doesn't sort or anything. It just appends this string of to this string. So this is very interesting in case you want to append one string, one list after one list elements after one after the first list. You can use it using the plus operator. All right. So just remember, it does not add these numbers or elements. It just appends the I mean appends this list to the first one. Okay. Moving on to another one. This is another fun thing. Now, what happens? Just like with the strings, you can also say, uh, I mean, a list and then star and then three. Now, just like with strings, I mean, just multiplying by 3 or 10, if you remember, it just uh, repeated the string 10 times. Now the result, let's see what happens in this case. Okay, so in this case the result is 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. So essentially it does nothing but it appends the same string thrice. So the result is 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. Now let's see what happens if we do it 30 times. Wow, so it just did 30 times. This is just a shortcut to to appending lists in a loop. Now I will not do any exercises right now, and we'll save it for another time. Um, Now why? Okay, I mean, this is again, we have seen this in the last, how we used uh, to format strings, like how we used to replace a variable within a string within quotes, which is also called literal string. Uh, and we used to append we used to replace it with a value in a variable, like name is John and the hello. Then we use the percent %s, right? Or we use a percent and then a character s. And similarly, we can also replace two variables at the same time within a string in the print statement. Print, for example, here we have print percent s percent d, and then we have two variables in here, name comma age. Name is John and age is 23. And similarly, uh, uh, here, if you see, in case of two variables, the two variables are named differently, percent %s and percent %d here. Now, similarly, you can also append a list or replace a variable within a string literal by a list. So let's execute this and see what happens. All right. Okay, so as expected, uh, the first one prints hello John, and in the second case, we are replacing two variables within the string, name and age. So name is John and age is 23. You get John is 23 years old. What about this? What if we change this variable name to, let's say, n? What happens then? Will it still work instead of %d? Wait, no, n is not working. So we have to do d. Okay, let's say. Now, um, we have, and then the one interesting thing is print a list, %s, and then my list, right? And d, right? Sorry, my list. So here we see a list here from here, and then %s is replaced by my list, which is 1, 2, 3. So you see a list 1, comma 2, comma 3. So essentially you are appending the in this you are replacing the value of %s with all the elements in my list. So just to make sure why %s is used for strings, and %d for integers or digits maybe. If you remember, I changed it to n and it didn't work. Now f for floating point numbers, and then we'll look at these two later. It's a bit it's not that often used, so we will just remember these three. So this is about formatting strings, and I think we have come to the end of today's live. Hopefully, it's easy enough for everybody to understand. If not, please leave a comment, like this video, and subscribe to the channel. That will let me create more videos. It's about 20 minutes in the video. Uh, I will close the stream now and see you later. Thank you so much, Niharika. My goal is to make it easy enough for everybody, even new to programming or Python, to be able to understand it. See you guys. Have a good day or good night. Have a nice weekend and happy Ganesh Chaturthi, everybody.